Hey, it's Kayla. I'm going to be talking about my experience with the therapist, Lauren Slater. There are some reasons I didn't want to talk about it really initially. One, like feeling certain ways about her, but in the grand scheme of things, it's probably, what happened to me was really inhumane and unsanitary, and I think people should know. And also, might not happen, but she might be doing things that is like legally questionable, and with like including running an unofficial program, and she gives her reasoning for it that, but I'm not sure potentially if anything could happen, like where like someone shut it down. I don't know how that works either, but like if the people would have anywhere to go. I'm a bit worried about that too, but I also it just was disgusting what she did, and I think part of it was how I came off a certain way at first, and I believe I had good reason to, but I think this is where like self understanding and stuff, and like self respect, self understanding, and just like confidence comes into play, really. I think, like, yeah, we can act in ways that for good reason, and that's in line with who we want to be, but it can be taken in a different way, and we can recognize that it can be taken in certain ways that kind of aren't who we are and lead to being treated in certain ways. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but what am I gonna do, really? I mean, so it starts off with I'm looking for like Gestalt therapists, because that seemed pretty good, like self-directive, holistic, different things I liked about it, really. So I found her, and she said like, oh, you look like you could be a good match for me and stuff, and talked about how and have good experiences in the mental health system, and how like wanting to unalive and stuff, and she's a bit of a drive, but I wanted it in person at first, so I was pretty adamant about that in person thing at first. But I mean, I said maybe later on we can switch to Zoom. I just wanted kind of an initial connection, because I've had some troubles with Zoom in the past where like parts were good, but then I also just would rather that. So she agreed the first session for that, which was good. So I go up there and stuff, and like she's not there, and I get a text, right, like I think hours later, and it's like, oh, sorry, Kayla, my car broke down, and then I left my phone at the office, and then I didn't, and then this and that, and how she at her other office she left her phone, and then so I'm like thinking, like, okay, I mean, she's like, this is so unlike me, and I was like, really? Because so unlike you, but like happened to be with me. But I'm like, oh, that can happen. So um she's like, whatever, I'll just treat it like as a fluke. And then at the same time I was like, okay, but also like I'm a bit really like still like high stressed over this, and you're kind of going into like a lot of detail about everything that's going on for you. That's kind of seems a bit manipulative and kind of weird, but like I mean, maybe it's just kind of like wanting to over explain because, like, I don't know, just think like she didn't. Random was just kind of like, okay. And there are the things that I was worried could become patterns, but I decided to just respond as if it weren't. And it wasn't completely non-genuine because, like I said, I could think of why. I could think of this isn't out of really unreasonable to think this could happen the first time. It's just if it becomes a pattern, I can readdress it. But I should kind of respond. That's probably the best way going forward. And I think at times I wondered, like, because I was gonna think of like maybe trying to say something along the lines of to hope it wouldn't become a pattern, but I didn't want to start off that way initially too. So I think that was the best decision, even if it backfired. I think it made me look, giving the benefit of the doubt, I guess maybe made me look more gullible and kind of gave the green light to make me a low like priority, kind of like, oh, this person's kind of foolish and is easy kind of to take advantage of. But I was had in my back of my mind kind of like prepared if it became a pattern. I didn't necessarily think it would, just like something to consider. But then the next day rolls around and this is our rescheduled time. I'm like, I call and then nothing. And I'm like, this again, are you freaking kidding me? And then I'm like texting like, hey, weren't we supposed to meet? And then hours later, called, Kayla, you're not gonna believe this. And another freaking stop store. I think maybe this one was like her horses. And I was thinking, wait, am I taken advantage of? Or like, I was like in shock really, but cause it's weird. I was gonna respond if it became a pattern, but I was thinking like, oh, at worst, okay, maybe like next week, maybe I should think maybe if next week it might, as soon as that become a pattern, because this could backfire because I'm trying to talk in a way that's more very understanding, and I'm like, to like, because I just mainly, I want to get, like, I just don't want this to become a thing hanging over, so I just want to get it out there, like, this isn't a thing, we can move forward, just, yeah, and I don't want to kind of, but then, like, again and again and again, like, these things keep happening, I'm, like, just dumbfounded, right, and, like, and I, like, didn't kind of, I was planning on having a certain response, but I think I became very hopeless, which I'm prone to hopeless. I test high in all the hopelessness tests. But yeah, so it was so difficult. But and at one point too, I think a few sessions in, she never made it to like a single scheduled appointment on time. Every time there's a million excuses. And then she was like, Kayla, we're having trouble getting to our scheduled appointments. So I'm just gonna give you like a range of times, like 5 to 8 or something. And then like call you when I'm available, I think. That would work best. And like again, like at the same time, I suppose I was reinforcing it like, oh yeah, that's fine. I'm kind of low priority to you. But in gullible, I believe anything, I'll go with anything. But it's just like, because at one point I don't even think she made it them, because I'm looking through my texts and I might read some of them, because some of them happened. Some of them didn't happen like on phone, and then but you see me texting like where are you? Hey, when are we supposed to meet and stuff. At one point, I think my brother's like, oh, do you want to do this? And I was like thinking, oh, I'm waiting for the call, but I was like, no, I'm not even going to. So I text her, hey, I'm going to be a little later than 8. Is that okay? Like, and then afterwards, she still didn't get back to me in the time, and I think she had another excuse, but like, if I recall, but so I was like, afterwards I was looking at the phone, like, she didn't even respond, like, within the time frame she gave, like, are you freaking kidding me? But yeah, yeah, I think I'm probably running out of time soon, but yeah, because I have another part to this I'll get into, the farm, which was just disgusting and unsanitary. But yeah, I don't know. I get it makes me upset to think about still. Like, I think, yeah, you can kind of respond the best of intentions and kind of be aware of like potential risks and stuff, but like, you if you want to go still like give people the benefit of the doubt and kind of respond in a certain way, it can just be taken to mean you're quite, idiotic, foolish, whatever, and easy to take advantage of. And I guess, yeah, part of it, like, I don't get on with many mental health. I don't get on with mental health professionals in general. So I was, yeah, specifically like that's what part of it too. I was like thinking why I should like when I was responding. I'm like I'm just gonna try to make this work the best I can, but just think part of how it backfired. But at the end of the day, if someone's gonna like take that and run with it and try to like take advantage of it, then it's probably best anyway that I don't interact with them. So okay, I'll make more too on this. I have more to say.